everyone! I had my first upright bass lesson with a teacher recently, and today I'm going to show you my practice routine and what I've been working on. So here I have my 3/4 size bass. So the very first thing I do when in my practice routine is just make sure it's at the right height. So what my teacher told me is that the bass should be, this part should be hitting this part in your forehead, so like the middle of your forehead, right there. And so how you hold it is actually you hold it at an angle like this, and it has to be like leaning into you. And an important thing is that I didn't know about this is that you're meant to be able to hold it with your body and let go of the bass, which I'm not very good at just yet, but yeah, you have to try to let go because it can be too much work for your hands to play the bass and hold it at the same time. So yeah, first thing I do when practicing is just practice letting go. I did it! So I just spend a little while on that, and I try to get it really good as long as I can. Alright, and then to warm up, I do this little exercise, just like getting pitch and my fingerings right. So I just do like 1, 2, 4, like that with your hand on each string. And normally I have a tuner with me to like really check my pitch, but I don't have that with me right now. So yeah. And an important thing you want to work towards when doing that little exercise is trying to get a really clean sound. So like sometimes when you play the upright, it's a little different than the electric. You get like this staticky noise almost. So you really want to work to not get that noise. You just do that a couple times to really warm up your fingers, and yeah, just practice hearing that pitch. Alright, so the next thing I do is I do an E minor scale. I don't stop at this E, I go up to my B, just to like practice getting up there. I have this scale right here, so yeah, I'll play my E minor scale. And then the second time I play it, I try to speed it up. Yeah, so when working on that scale, I really try to work on pitch, and like I said, I normally have a tuner right in front of me, so I can really like track every single note. Alrighty, so recently I have been working on Privave, and my teacher wrote out like a bass line that follows the chord changes of it, and it's like a walking bass line where I only play like the triads in each chord, so the root, third, and fifth. So to practice this little piece, I'm using iReal Pro, where you can basically search up any song and practice to the chord changes of that song. I just work on that and trying to really get that down, staying with the rhythm and the beat and just trying to not stop and working on pitch at the same time. And that tempo was at 100 BPM, and eventually I'm gonna speed that up and just try to work on playing it faster and faster as I get better. So the more and more I practice au Privave, I'm trying to step away from the written bass line that he's given me and try to add my own bass line with the triads to each chord. So using the root, third, and fifth. And yeah, just working on improvising a little bit with my walking bass line. Okay, so before I start, I'm gonna go over the root, third, and fifth of each chord. So the first chord I have is the F7 chord. So that is F, A, C. Then next I have the B flat 7 chord, which is B flat, B flat, D, F. And then I have F again. Next I have a C minor 7 chord. So that would be C, E flat, G. And then back to F7, then B flat 7, then F7 again. And then I have G minor 7. Which is G, E flat, D. And then back to C, and F, and then G, C. Okay, so yeah, now that I got all those down, I'm gonna go in and improvise. Before I start, I just want to mention that my teacher told me that we're working on the upper part of the neck so far, especially because my bridge is a little high. So these strings are very high off the neck, so it can be quite hard to play, especially up here with these strings. So we're gonna get this adjusted so I can easily play up here. So yeah, so far I'm just playing down here. Another thing my teacher told me is that I have been plucking with one finger, but my teacher told me that he prefers plucking with two. I'm still working on that. He told me that I should try to practice both so I can really decide which one I like better, because it's really based on preference. He said he prefers the two finger a lot because it provides more of an even tone throughout when plucking the note. But while you play with one finger, it's more about the attack that you hear. So it's less even throughout, which, yeah. So that is my practice routine so far. It's definitely going to grow over time as I get better at the upright, but I would really like to know if you have any more tips for my practicing. If you do, please leave them down in the comments. So please like and subscribe if you want to see more updates on my progress.